Well, hello everyone, this is Jeff Clark with another unboxing video. Just got this from Easy Toys a couple of days ago. And I have been looking forward to receiving this as a result of a recent trip I went on. I went to London for a week and was able to fly on yet another carrier. And this is a Phoenix Models limited edition, obviously. This is a 7879, which is what I flew on. And this is the Dreamliner, and this registration is EI-LNI. This is Greta Garbo, which is the exact aircraft that I flew on, and which is kind of neat. And this is a Phoenix Models, which I don't usually get, but if I have a model I really like and they're the only manufacturer, I will get one. Their pricing is around the same as the Geminis and the JC Wings, so they're of good quality. And let's take her out of the box here. And there we go, 787-900, or -9, excuse me. Now right off the bat, don't know if you can see that, but not sure if it's the rub of the paint. There's definitely some kind of debris or something on there. We'll have to get some cleaner and see if I can remove that. If not, that would be the problem. And this is the second and third journey I've taken on the Dreamliner, the -9. Or the 3 journeys I've taken have been on the -9. And I really like riding on the Dreamliner. It's a very smooth and nice running aircraft. It's fairly comfortable. The Norwegian livery looks pretty interesting if you ask me. See those nice oversized cockpit windows, which are very large. You can essentially see the entire torso of the pilot through the window. We can see the pitot tubes and the L1 door and the drip rail, the windshield wipers. Not a lot of detail of the radome color cover that I can see. The Norwegian logo. And we've got the L2 door. And this has the Rolls-Royce Trent 1000 engine, which has these chevrons on the back to both reduce noise inside and outside, and also to reduce drag by better mixing the exhaust with the ambient air. And this is the Dreamliner 787-9, which is marked here on the tail. And the registration EI-LNI. Norwegian has 3 787-9 models. This is the first of those. They have a total of 11 Dreamliners. And this is the 400th Dreamliner that left production in, this was an Everett built model. There's a couple of neat videos of this being rolled out on its way to the paint shop. The nose gear, nothing very special about the nose gear on this particular model manufacturer. And we have an array of different static ports here on the side. The ground power connection. The Phoenix emblem. It's got a nice bright white color with the red, looks really good. This is a VHF antenna here. The doors for the auxiliary power unit, and the Dreamliner has a nozzle exhaust on the tail, and it has a double strobe as well, which is not very well shown here. I can't very well see it. But the 3D on the rudder has been well done, and on the elevators as well. I like the way they got the aluminum leading edge there. It's nicely done. And the vertical stabilizer illumination light. The Greta Garbo is really well done. It's nice and crisp and clear. And I did get some pretty good photos of the aircraft at the gate. The wings look good. I can see the nose step markings. Really cool how they paint something that small that you can read. It's like I can't see it with the naked eye, but I can see it with when I look on the photos, I can see it clearly. And here's our red navigation light. Strobe light on the side, and the position light on the tail, on the rear. This does have a raked wingtip, which is used to create a smoother flow of air off the end of the wing. Typically there's a sort of a spiral type of area of air that comes off the tip of the wing, and the wingtip sort of disturbs that and allows more area of the wing to generate lift. And the flap track fairings here. And the flaperon. The flaperon is really neat because during times of turbulence, it is very active, going up and down and up and down, and the aircraft is sort of rolling back and forth slightly, and that kind of smooths out the turbulence, which is kind of interesting. I got some really good video of that, so when I post my flight trip report video, I will put some footage of that in there too, and I'll provide a link to that as well. These wings on the Dreamliner, the wingspan is 197 feet. They have such a huge amount of curvature, you can totally see them going up during flight. It's very interesting to watch, and just to see how much bend they get. They actually, the tips end up above the fuselage on both sides, which is kind of interesting. You can totally see it doing that. And on my outward journey, I was in 38J, which is this spot with no window here. I didn't realize that seat girder doesn't have that, so I ended up getting a seat with no window on the way out from Las Vegas to London Gatwick. And then on the way back, I was in 36A, which is right here, and that has a great window seat. That's actually, when I flew the Dreamliner on Air Canada, I sat in that same seat, so I knew it was a good spot to have a good shot right out of the window. You can see the engine from that spot. The tail, you can see the exhaust coming out of the exhaust nozzle, and it's a pretty good spot. You can see the ground very well, and if you're going to ride on a Dreamliner, I would have no problem sitting in that seat, so I would recommend it to you as well. Norwegian doesn't have a first class or business. They have a premium economy section, which is up in the front here, 35 seats, and then they have 309 regular seats, and it's a 333 configuration. And this particular aircraft is on lease from MG Aviation. The Boeing 787-9 is mostly carbon fiber, or not mostly, but has a very high percentage of carbon fiber in the wings and the fuselage section. They're made in Charleston, South Carolina, and also in Everett, Washington. And I've been past the Charleston factory, which is really cool because you get to see a lot of Dreamlifters and things parked out there, and it's right by the Charleston airport. So on the top here we have, this is the emergency location transmitter antenna. This is another VHF antenna. This marking here, which you don't see that much on many of the models, is the emergency access. So if a fire crew is going to penetrate the cabin, they're going to do it through this one of these places, as in they'll put the poker, the nozzle that can penetrate into the fuselage and eject water or foam into the interior. They will do so through one of these ports here. This is the SATCOM antenna, which allows the aircraft to communicate with the satellites through the ACAR system. These are the two auto direction finders, the ADF beacons, and another access port. This is another VHF antenna, and there's also another access port here. And then we have the ATC and the TCAS antennas combined into one, and there's also one underneath, which I'm guessing is probably this one. The markings on the engine are done well, And the paintwork on the engine pylon is nice. It's better than the other Phoenix model that I have, which was an Airbus and was a bit off, if you ask me. Nice detail on the fan blade. And they do spin. The landing light on the wing. And this engine generates around 71,000 foot-pounds of thrust. And on the other side of the wing we have the bottom of the inboard flap and the flap track fairing, the bottom of the flaperon, the outboard flap, its two flap track fairings, and the aileron and the raked wingtip. Same on this side. One thing I do not see is the fuel dump valve, which this aircraft is equipped with, and it should be sitting right here, and it's pretty noticeable on the real aircraft, so there's no reason why it shouldn't be here as well. And you can see the spoilers on top of the wing too. And they're nicely done in the well grooves, so they have a good three-dimensional look. And I've also been to the Everett plant as well, so I've got to see them building the Dreamliner, which is really neat to see them on the floor being built. Nice Rolls-Royce insignia there. And we have the slats are well detailed. And we have the starboard green light here. Starboard side, we have the #1 door on the right side, the registration on the gear doors. The gear does not remove, it does roll, it does rotate. The LD3 cargo door is just about visible. You can see the controls quite well. Here are some more static ports. I believe these are their heat exchanger inlets. And this is the marker beacon here. And the wing meets the fuselage quite nicely. And the markings on the outside of the doors are nice and clear and well done. This is the rear LD3 door. And I don't see a bulk door, although I'm not sure if the Dreamliner has one actually. This aircraft, the 7879, will handle up to 36 of the LD3 units. And let's look at the gear here. Their gear does not remove. It does tilt, which is good. It has a nice range of travel on both sides. These do roll. Let's check them out for straightness. They're pretty good. This one here maybe just towed in just a little bit, but overall pretty straight. It's got a really good look to it. Alright, I'm going to get this stand put together, and we'll see how she looks on the stand. And I'll see if I can clean up some of this, which I hope is a residue, not a scuff. Although the packaging itself kind of, it's this two-piece molded plastic, so when the model's inside, it's basically has the lid pressed up against it. I can even see the discoloration here on the packaging that I see on the model, so it doesn't seem like they're doing themselves any favors with the packaging they're using versus the foam that JC Wings and Gemini are using on their models, and Aviation Retail Direct and In-Flight. They all use the foam type packaging with the protective plastic film on the top and the bottom of the plane, so Phoenix does not have that. Okay, so I got the stand put together. We'll see how it fits. I didn't have very much luck with my last in-flight, or excuse me, Phoenix models. It was an Airbus A340-600, and the stand just didn't really hold it in a steady position, so I wasn't able to use it. But this one looks pretty good. Nice and straight. Got a pretty good posture, nice angle. Got a little bit of play, but not too much. And I think Phoenix has done a pretty good job with this model. It's well put together. The paint looks nice and crisp and well done. The features have been well done. I think it's a good addition to the collection. I'm glad that I was able to get Greta Garbo, because having flown on it out and back and put about 11,000 miles on this in this aircraft, it's kind of nice to have that. Even got the pilot to sign my logbook, so I have that entry in there as well, and had a chance to chat with them a little bit after the flight was over, so that was kind of nice as well. Have a little extra touch to go with the trip, and I think they've done a pretty good job here. I like the way that they've got the Rolls-Royce on the inside of the cowling too. That's nice to see, and the engines are well done with the radius markings, the ingestion hazard markings, much better than the other Phoenix model I have, so I'm glad to see that's been well done. The color's good, cockpit windows are good, the wipers are good. It's been well done, but I did get some of the scuff out, and this is also, I didn't point out earlier, the emergency crew escape hatch. There's a little door there like they have on the 747. So some of the scuffing did come out. There's still a couple of little scratches on there. It's really hard to see, perhaps with the camera. I don't know if I can get just the right angle to make it noticeable, but they are there. They did clean up a little bit, improve with some polishing and a little bit of wax, so it's nice to see that get a bit better, but disappointing that Phoenix is kind of affecting the quality of their own model with their packaging. So hopefully they'll figure that out, or I will let them know and suggest maybe they could do an improvement on that. But overall the model looks pretty good. It's a better quality model than the A340-600 that I got, the Iberia that came from Phoenix, which is still a good model, but this is just a bit better done. I really like the livery. I love the way it looks, and I love having been flown on Greta here a couple of times. This is the only Norwegian aircraft that's available, or 787-9 that's available. So I'm glad that I sort of struck out both ways there, or not struck out, but hit 2 home runs there on the way out and the way back to fly the same jet from Las Vegas to Gatwick in London, and London back to Las Vegas. So really good addition to the collection, and I'll get her in there with my other Dreamliner and see how the overall collection looks now. But this model is available. I'm hoping that Gemini or JC Wings will bring out their version, and when they do, I'm sure I will go buy that as well. Sometimes it's just a necessity to do that. So thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate everybody's time. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them for me, and we'll see you next time.